Hi everybody, thought I'd make a video today on Basic 101, how to wash a car. I spent the morning pretty much cleaning the car up. It wasn't super dirty, but after about 2 weeks of driving it was time. Just go over a few things. First I'll give you kind of just a walk around of the car. It figures I pull it out of the garage and the sun goes down, this paint really pops out in the sunlight. Not so much right now. Almost has a little bit of a goldish or brown tinge to it. It's called Stromboli Gray. Not like the sandwich. It's actually, I believe, named after a volcano in Sicily. It's the 2020 Alfa Romeo Giulia TI Sport Q4. Pretty long name. It has the silver versus the charcoal gray wheels, which personally I really like. It does have yellow painted brake calipers, Brembo brakes. Traditional Alfa Romeo Scuderia, that's the V-shaped grille. Scuderia, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, is Italian for shield. Alfa's used that shield on cars probably going clear back to the 30s. Alfa Romeo is a brand. Actually became into existence in 1910. They have a very famous racing history, especially in the 30s in Formula One. They pretty much dominated racing during that time. Kind of a brief glimpse of the interior. Big aluminum shift paddles. I don't know what the official name for the leather is, but I'd call it kind of a cognac actually. Kind of a tannish gold. And here's the back seat. You've got air conditioning vents in the back. You've got your USB outlets along with heated seats for the rear. Contrasting black seat belts. 3 headrests going across the back. Okay, the sun's starting to come out a little bit now. Must have heard me. I don't know how this will show up on the video here, but the paint, it really pops in the sunlight. Possibly considering using this color for my Porsche 550 when it comes time to choosing a color. Veloce 1 or Veloce 1, Italian for fast one. I wouldn't exactly call this car fast, but it's fairly quick for what it is. I'll pop the hood here. Let's see if I can open it up without sweating all over it. Two-liter, 4-cylinder, turbocharged. It's rated at 280 horse, about 306 foot-pounds of torque, so it does have a lot of pulling power, especially with the all-wheel drive. It definitely doesn't spin the wheels. Okay, when it comes to cleaning a car, basically my step today was I sprayed the car down with a foam foam cannon. I use the Go Irons Gold Clash Car Wash. I just put a little bit of that in the jar, fill the rest up with water, spray it down. It's not always necessary, but if the car is fairly dirty, it does have a tendency to loosen up the dirt, and it lubricates the paint a little bit before you put your wash mitt to it. I use a microfiber wash mitt. Always try to use a clean wash mitt. You don't want to be scraping it across the car, especially when there's dirt on it. It'll cause marring, paint imperfections, and personally that just drives me out of my mind. This car was just about from day one protected with Expel Ultimate Paint Film. It's on the front fenders, the front of the car. It's also obviously on the full hood of the car, on the mirrors. And one smart thing I did on the black piano trim, I also coated this with the paint film. If you just, for any reason, have a slightly dirty rag, this stuff mars like crazy. It just drives you nuts. But with the paint film on there, it's just super easy to take care of. Okay, once I got the car sprayed down with the foam cannon, I filled my wash bucket up with about 5 gallons of water, put the Meguiar's Gold Class car wash in it, and wash it down by hand. After that, basically you want to rinse everything off the car as much as you can, and after that procedure I take a leaf blower and blow probably 90% of the water off the car. Also get into the wheels, get all the water out of the lug nut area. When I wash a wheel, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I actually clean the inside of the barrel. With these wheels with the large openings, it's real easy to get in there, and at the same time I try to wash the brake calipers. The yellow does show a lot of brake dust. About 2 weeks ago I used a Meguiar's tire dressing. It's held up pretty well. It's a real natural finish, not greasy or anything like that. After the car is blown off with the leaf blower, I take a microfiber drying towel and try to dry out every area on the car, including under the hood, the wheels, inside the door jambs. This is a spot a lot of people don't bother messing with, but it does give the car a nice clean appearance if you just take a little extra time and clean that area out. I get backside of the doors, underneath the doors, all 4 doors, and then I usually open up the trunk, get all the water out of the recesses, and even then, you close the trunk, you'll have water dripping all over the place. So just try to get that cleaned up. That's basically all I did today. I do, every time I wash the car, I do clean the leather. I find, especially if you wear blue jeans, the blue dye from the jeans gets all over the leather, because when you take a rag and clean it, you're actually getting blue off that interior. At the same time, I always do the steering wheel. I'll go over a few of the products I use today. Okay, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is Mother's VLR vinyl leather rubber cleaner. Works fantastic on anything that's vinyl as far as trim on the interior. Works great on the leather seats, and it leaves a real natural sheen. It's not greasy at all. I hate the type like Armor All where, you know, it looks like you coated your car with oil after you're done. So that's a product I can really highly recommend to anybody. And you can find this just about anywhere in any auto parts store. So it's kind of an off-the-shelf type product. For windows, this is probably the best stuff I've found. It's called Stoner Invisible Glass, and it really does a great job as far as cleaning glass, and it's fairly streak-free, like it says on the container here, streak-free guaranteed. Okay, today I did, because it needed it, I did do a light polish on the car. It's not a paint correction or anything like that. It doesn't have any abrasives, but I've used this stuff for years. It's made by a company called Zano. This is their show car polish, and it's basically a sealant. It's old and outdated. It doesn't really compare with the ceramics that are on the market right now, but it's easy to use, does a good job, may not last forever, but unless you know, you don't clean your car, it works great. If you keep up with it, very good product. This can be bought online. Another product I use is called Zano, obviously made by Zano again. It's called Grand Finale. Essentially, it's a spray sealant. The thing I like about it is it removes any wax or sealant buildup that you might have missed, and it gives it really a nice shine. It's very, very clear as far as optical. And the other thing, probably the best properties it has, is once you put it on, you drive the car several days, you'll notice it just doesn't attract dust. It's actually an anti-static formula, so a lot of times when you rub down a car, you create static, and that basically just attracts dust to the paint. So this does a good job eliminating that, and it's really a great great little detailer. Okay, this is the Meguiar's Endurance Tire Gel I was telling you about. I'm sure there's better products on the market, but I had a bottle of this down in the basement, and that's what I used for the last time. So again, it really doesn't take a whole lot to keep your car looking good. One practice I do is every time I wash the car, I do wipe down the engine area. Basically, I just take a damp cloth and wipe all the water off, and every now and then I'll take a detailer spray and clean the plastic. But if you keep up with it, it really doesn't take a whole lot. If you go, 2 years and then you decide you're going to detail your engine bay, yeah, you got a real mess on your hand, and you got to use a totally different method to make that work. Well, that's about it. This is what you do when you're old and bored. You come out in the driveway and you make a video after washing your car. Hope this helps a little bit. Thanks a lot.